Okay, my daughter and I are out riding around the little Navi this evening, and I was just coming down West Green over here, headed back toward my neighborhood. Oh, cool sunset. Too bad the buildings are in the way. Anyway, it sputtered out and died on me before I could even get the reserve. Petcock turned over to reserve. Interestingly, the engine wasn't going enough, and the CVT didn't give it enough momentum to keep the engine going while I flipped it over to reserve. So it died hard, and I just coasted into my neighborhood, and I had to stop and sit there and crank it for quite a while on reserve, probably about 5-6 seconds worth of cranking before the fuel got back into the carburetor. So if you feel it's stuttering, you got to be real quick on that nozzle. The bad news here is, at least, kind of possibly somewhat bad news, is I only got 56.3 before it puked. Actually, it was less than that. It was 55 and change. So I'm going to calculate this when I fill it up here. And we're going to see how much it takes to fill this thing back up. And we'll calculate some rough fuel economy numbers. I'm sure it's low, and it's probably going to get better as it breaks in. I still see, if you guys can see it, see that fuel? Shake it. See, there's still fuel down there. So the reserve nozzle in the on the petcock was able to grab it, but when it died. So got to watch out for that. Okay. All right, so here we go. My daughter is my camera lady for today.
I know them.
I'm gonna fill this up here, and I'm gonna bring it up all the way over the bar. Now, again, I don't know how much fuel the dealer put in there when I took delivery of it. I remember cracking it up and then looking at it, and it was a little under the bar, but it was pretty full. So we can't say it was a full fill, but per the owner's manual, typical Honda, they say to put in there.
Hi, Tristan.
My daughter's
Hi,
friends
Patrick.
from school are here. So I'm at the top of the bar. Zoom in there and get a good look at that. All right, so I'm just over the top of the bar. That's full fill. So we'll calculate some miles here and figure out what it was. Okay, so first almost full tank of gas. Didn't yield spectacular mileage on the Navi. I forgot to hit the yes, I want a receipt button, so we just got to look at the pump here. It took 0.73 gallons to fill it up to just above the top of the bar, and that was with medium grade 89, not octane, but what we call octane. R+M/2, so that's the PON, no, what is it, PON, no, AKI index, the anti-knock index. So anyway, 89 mid-grade, 293. It took 0.73 gallons to 56.3 miles on the clicker. So that yielded 78 miles to the gallon. So for a first tank during break-in, that's not horrible, not great. We'll see how it goes as it breaks in. I know for a fact that this one's running rich. You can always smell it's super, super rich. So I think when I get past the 300-mile initial break-in period, I'll go ahead and do my first service early, which is oil change. I'll check the spark plug. I'll check valve clearances, and I'm definitely going to fix the air-fuel mixture on the carburetor because it's running way rich. Right now, it should have been. I was assuming that I was going to run out of fuel, or get to reserve at 85 miles, 90 miles, something like that, but it just petered out at 55. So that's a little overly thirsty, so it's running rich. But it should break in. We'll see how it goes. And a final closing thought, a word to the wise. Don't forget this. If you've gone to reserve when you fill up this bike, make sure you flip it back to on, because if you run this thing on reserve, just like any carbureted bike, you don't have any warning period anymore. When it gets down to empty, it's empty. There's no safety net. You're done. So make sure you flip back to on, and that gives you your 15 mile or 20 mile safety net, whatever the reserve is going to afford you.